On this deal on the show, we did a deal with Barbara Corcoran, a real estate mogul in New York, and she was willing to exchange 50% equity of our company for $75,000. And we were on the flight home, sick to our stomach, like we just gave up 50% of our business. But we would have actually given up 95% of our company. Just the fact that we were able to develop a relationship with Barbara, it was just a handshake. We went through our due diligence process in New York, and Barbara allowed us to retain a large percent of our company back, and we restructured the deal. But all in all, what we're here and what we have that's really unique about it is the exposure of TV. We're selling a product on an online e-commerce website. So the night we air, 5.9 million viewers, the conversions factor down to thousands and thousands of orders. The Monday you go to work, the batch out from the credit card transactions, you now have well over 6 figures in your bank account. And maybe less than a year before this, you're in the kitchen making products. So it was really a very enjoyable, humbling success story for our company.
Can you talk about some of did your website crash? Did you have that taken care of before you got on Shark Tank? Because I know now they have precautions where people need to have their website ready for the traffic they're about to receive.
Yes, our website bottlenecked. It didn't crash. What took place was, it's kind of like a hockey stick effect. Here's our business, 10 people on our website a day. All of a sudden, thousands and thousands of website viewers. Because of that, it didn't slow down our website, it slowed down our global gateway, which is what processes the payments from the orders. And it looked fraudulent. All of a sudden, this company's selling hundreds of thousands of dollars in matters of minutes that they didn't even do that in the last, since the start date of the company. So the bottlenecking effect really held us back, but we were able to at least have the customers' information. We spent the next few days calling them back up, and a lot of the customers did come through and commit to the purchase. So it worked out really well.
So let me just touch on that, because you brought up something that a lot of people don't know. If you're doing business and all of a sudden you have a spike in your business, your merchant account will shut you down at times if they don't know where that money's coming from.
Not to get too technical, but you're anticipating hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales,
you gotta tell
and you have no history. We were proactive and told our merchant service that we're going to have a lot of transactions, but they held a retainer, a reserve on our orders up to $20,000 or 15% of every order for 6 months. So that's operating capital that you're out of.
Right.
But they need to have some kind of insurance on their end.
So Shannon, you help people get on TV, you book them. What's the impact that you see when you get people coverage or media attention?
Well, I think one of the things I was mentioning about mentioning your product as much as you can without overselling it, which they did perfect on the show. I've seen the show actually. And when you're on Shark Tank or some of these radio shows, because we do radio, print, and television, is the fact is to mention your product, to give them the opportunity to ask you questions about it, but also we try to add another dimension to the client. Have them talk about, for instance, we had a client who talks about neuroscience, and we had her talk about Ebola. Have them comfortable where they can talk about current news topics, so it drives them back to talking about eventually their website or their product.
And that's a challenge you have sometimes, because clients don't want to kind of put different pitches out there, right?
Right. We have to open up the client a little bit. We have to tell them, let us know what we know how to do, because we're going to get you stuff. We're going to get you exposure out there.
So at the end of the day, you want the exposure so people recognize your face, and then you rope your brain into that, right?
Right, because we know what essentials, we may have to change your intro, how you're introduced. We may have to do a couple of things on, as we call it, a pitch. We do pitches and press releases. Pitches are like a short form, we call them flash press releases. They're quick. For now, when there was something that came out, I guess, about Russian hacking or something last night, we sent something out with about 5 or 6 clients on one thing. So it gives an opportunity to pick a client they want to talk about that.
All right. So I want to go over to Omar and just ask him, who here has watched the show Millionaire Matchmaker? All right. Well, we're lucky to have someone in this panel that was on that show. Omar. So Omar, tell us about Millionaire Matchmaker and how, even watching it, I still cringe thinking about what you did on that show. But it was great marketing, but it was terrible for the poor girls. So tell us that situation.
Thanks for embarrassing me.
Yeah.
We after being on Shark Tank, the producers from Millionaire Matchmaker asked us if we wanted to be on the show. And, we were pretty hesitant. We're like, it's kind of cheesy. That's not really, what we're trying to do. And then my business partner got the idea. He's like, hey, well, why don't you make your date haul junk? That way it'll kind of tie the business in. And I was like, that's an awful idea. So we flipped the coin. I lost. I basically had to pick up my date. The producers all knew about it. They obviously loved the idea because I was going to embarrass myself on national TV. But I picked up the date in our big orange junk truck, took the haul junk, then took her to dinner, valeted the junk truck. So it was an awful date. Never got a call back from the girl, but
you took her to a location to
yeah,
pick up junk.
Yeah, we picked up junk first, then we went to dinner.
Did you know how much junk was at that location?
No, so we have a franchise in LA, and I was like, yeah, make sure it's easy, you know, this is gonna be on TV. And she sent us to like about the worst job you could imagine. It was dirty and debris, and it was a bad day. But you know, our truck was on national TV, and it was kind of a, you know.
You guys sold franchises out
We did, yeah, probably 5 or 6. It was
Was that one of the best?
I lost my dignity, but we did.
That was one of the best PR.
Yeah,
right?
it was.
Like direct effect.
That was
so
that was like the big kind of that took us to the next level.
this
for
poor
sure.
girl was in high heels, beautiful dress. And
Yeah, she was. I know. My grandma is still.
Meanwhile, your partner Nick is having like.
Yeah, he took the Bentley, and I was he was in the Bentley, I was in the junk truck. My grandma still hasn't forgiven me for it, but.
Or was she upset about it?
Nah, she was alright.
Yeah.
But there's really never any bad PR. I've had one of my clients on Millionaire Matchmaker also, and Shark Tank and some of these other shows. You know, reality shows, I hate to say it, you're going to see more an abundance of them coming up because it's cheaper to promote, and also it does well for, you know, if you have somebody on like Shark Tank, it helps both of them.
Right. So when you say there's no bad press, people are always worried. Oh, what if I'm not portrayed or whatever? You just gotta roll with the punches.
Well, I mean, I hate to say this, Bernie Madoff, he has a publicist. Scott Peterson has a publicist. What it is, a publicist not only is for someone to promote their product, but also to change their image.
Gotcha. So kind of like Olivia Pope and scandal, right? Yeah. All right. So let's go to Greg. Greg, can you talk about once you got your Wall Street cred, why you actually started getting on all these local affiliate stations? It was important for you to get those under your belt.
Yeah, so a lot of business owners have been in the major media and they don't really know how to leverage it. One of the best practices that we've started implementing with our clients that's made a huge difference is to put right in your profile picture on Facebook and LinkedIn or any sites that you're on, the logos of any media that you've been on and say as seen on. That way you have this visual effect. As soon as somebody sees you on Facebook, you instantly have authority. And that draws them in, gets them to read the rest of your web page, gets them to read the rest of your profile. So really, you know, knowing what to do after you've been in the major media, how are you going to leverage this appearance is something you want to have a strategy for. And one of the simplest strategies that you can all do is to just use those logos and talk about that right in your profile pictures. And everybody starts small, so even if you've just been on maybe the campus newspaper or the campus radio show or the campus blog, that's something that you want to tout in your social profiles and on your web pages, and then it'll slowly start to build up over time.